Kevin Mitnick was once the most elusive cyber invader in history, coined by CNN, Fox News, and other prestigious networks as the world's most famous hacker. The world's most famous hacker? That's quite the title, but trust us, it was well earned. Kevin was the catalyst of the information security industry, a best-selling author, a renowned security speaker, and the head of an elite information security firm with a 100% success rate. All of that began with Kevin's action-packed rise through the ranks of hackers worldwide, driven by an insatiable curiosity, a passion for seemingly impossible challenges, and an unstoppable sense of humor. Born August 6, 1963, Kevin David Mitnick grew up immersed in the era of newly emerging phone and computer technology. And boy, did it fascinate him. Kevin spent much of his youth tinkering with the latest tech, gathering with fellow phone freaks over pizza to talk about their latest landline pranks as the originators of what was soon to become cyber social engineering. As Kevin grew from a teenager to a young man, so too did his knowledge of phones, computers, and programming, as well as his bravado to gain unauthorized access to the sensitive information they stored. By the late 80s and throughout the early 90s, Kevin landed himself at the top of the FBI's most wanted list for hacking into dozens of major corporations just to see if he could. But contrary to the dark, lowbrow cybercriminal, the media and law enforcement portrayed him as Kevin's breaches were never meant for financial gain or harm. They were always about the adventure, the adrenaline rush. Kevin was a trophy hunter, a pursuer of big, shiny prizes, merely to prove he could win. And let's not forget the sheer humor of outwitting all things establishment and arrogant tech heads. But unauthorized access is still unauthorized access, regardless of ill will. For 3 years, Kevin went on the run, using false identities and fleeing from city to city to resist arrest until cornered in a final showdown with the feds, who would stop at nothing to bring him down. In 1995, he was finally forced to serve 5 years of hard time by those who feared the extent of his digital power. After Kevin's 5-year sentencing, the hacking community revolted against what they called a gross injustice. Many thought, doesn't the FBI have more dangerous criminals to find and prosecute than a mischievous trickster gaining unauthorized access for fun, not a dangerous felon? A revolt sprung, and news channels rolled clips of protesters holding bright yellow signs reading, "Free Kevin." Eventually, they did indeed free Kevin, but only after 5 years, 8 months of which was in solitary confinement. After his release, Kevin turned a corner. The end of his criminal prosecution was the beginning of what would become a lifelong career as a highly revered and trusted white hat penetration tester. The rise of Mitnick Security. In 2003, Kevin started Mitnick Security to identify and mitigate cybersecurity threats for governments, enterprises, and organizations. He and his global ghost team were challenged to breach some of the strongest security infrastructures around, mimicking the tactics real threat actors would use to penetrate multi-million-dollar companies. In July 2023, Kevin passed away from pancreatic cancer. For many years, Kevin and the global ghost team set forth to help companies strengthen their cybersecurity and protect themselves against the growing methodologies of hackers. Kevin Mitnick was an inspiration to many, both in cybersecurity and outside of the field, and he leaves behind a legacy that will impact the cybersecurity industry for years to come. With the knowledge passed down to the global ghost team, Mitnick Security still boasts a 100% success rate of social engineering penetration testing and continues to implement the same standards and mindset Kevin had. Kevin Mitnick was the proud author of 4 books, which earned him a spot on the New York Times bestsellers list. From his thrilling autobiography of becoming the world's most famous hacker to his educational content about social engineering and major security threats, his work is still just as captivating on paper today as he was on screen. Kevin laid the foundation for many cybersecurity innovations, including how ethical hacking should be conducted and why it's more important now than ever. Without Kevin, there would be no Mitnick Security, but there also wouldn't be the progress ethical hackers worldwide have made in hacking for the greater good.